It's a rainy but warm day today, and honestly, kind of the perfect mood for making art. I always find these kinds of days just a little bit more peaceful. The sound of the rain bouncing off the windows, off the leaves and the ground, there's just something about it. It makes reading, painting, drawing, any kind of artwork like that, it sets the perfect mood for doing that kind of stuff for me. So just a quick heads up, most of the videos I make are filmed over the course of a few different days. Sometimes the light changes or the vibe shifts a bit, and that's because the creative process doesn't always happen all at once. But once it's all edited together, it becomes one cohesive little story like this.
Some threading on the bottom here that allows me to mount on the side here, so I could move it out.
One of those days included a trip to IKEA, which ended up being a big win for the studio. I finally grabbed the Alex drawer unit on wheels that I was wanting to get forever, and it's already made a huge difference. Not just for organizing tools and materials, but for keeping the space feeling clean and minimal. Exactly the direction I've been trying to take this setup forever. And if you know me, you know that I have my OCD and it's hard for me to get it where I want it so it's just right. And of course, as you can tell, as you can see, being a dad has its perks. Trying to assemble stuff, getting frustrated, and having your daughter sitting on the stairs asking you for favors. It's always a fun time. While I was at IKEA, I also picked up a new desktop for my motorized standing desk legs. It's white and simple, and now both the art desk and my editing space are starting to match. The editing station is motorized too, which is a nice touch. When I'm spending hours cutting videos like this one, it's all coming together slowly, but every little change makes the space feel more intentional. This desktop makes it awesome and perfect for this little desktop easel that I purchased on Amazon. I handmade an add-on for the easel which makes the surface area a little bit bigger. The pastel mat fits perfect on it. When I'm not working on pastel mats and I'm using smaller canvases or smaller paper or anything like that, I can simply just remove it and use either the flat top or just use the desktop easel the way that it is at its normal size. All right, let's get into this new piece that I started to work on this time. As you can see, I'm drawing a portrait of a dog. There's something about it that I instantly connected with, just like many of the drawings that I do, or most of the drawings that I do. Some of them stand out, when it comes to portraits and stuff like that, and I just have to draw them. The reference photo had so much personality in its eyes, and that's usually where I start. For me, the eyes are the anchor. They are the gateway to the soul. So once I get that right, everything else kind of just falls into place. So I'm using a mix of pastel pencils with pan pastels for this one. That's usually my go-to combo for animal portraits like this. It's usually when I want that soft, velvety type-like texture in the fur. I'll talk more about the materials as we go, but the goal here is to really capture that lifelike softness while still letting the portrait feel personal. Like many of the portraits I usually start with the background first, and I like to go in with the pan pastels again for that velvety look. However, with the blacks, when you want them solid black or a really deep black, usually I jump into the pastel sticks, and then I ended up just blending it in anyways with a little bit of the pan pastels on top. After blocking in the background, the eyes are generally what I tackle next. So I usually start with a light sketch to kind of block in some of those major features. Nothing crazy detailed at first, unless I'm actually going into the eye, but there's always an undertone and a base layer to that. Once that's done with the base layer, using generally the soft pan pastels, these let me lay in subtle gradients for the fur and shadows without overworking the paper and getting rid of the tooth of the paper. It's like setting the stage before the fine details kind of take over. During this phase, I try not to get caught up in perfection, just getting the overall tones right and letting the structure slowly take shape, and of course trying to get as close to the actual colors as I can. So now usually this is where the fun kind of starts. Layering in the texture with pastel pencils. I work in small strokes to kind of mimic the direction of the fur, switching colors often to build depth and variety. No single color just makes it work. It's all about layering and blending gradually. The more and more that I use pastels, the more and more I learn about them. It's just like colored pencils essentially. It's all about layers without overworking the paper. I always pay close attention to the eyes, the nose, and the mouth area. That's where a lot of subtle expression lives, especially in dogs, cats. Getting those tiny little highlights and shadows just right makes everything feel more alive. The fur under the chin and around the ears adds a nice bit of contrast too. It all works together to frame the piece, but like I said, it's usually the eyes, then the nose and mouth. Once the main features are in, I slow down and start making adjustments, softening some edges, sharpening others, adding in the brightest highlights, darkening up some contrast. Those final touches really bring any portrait to life. This is the part where I tend to zone out in the best way. It's meditative. And I like to take breaks, walk away, then come back and look at it with fresh eyes. Sometimes you spot little things you missed, and other times you realized it's done and it just feels right. I had to take a break from the drawing, and it turns out I took the family down to see some fireworks for Canada Day. It was amazing. Well everyone, here it is, the finished portrait. I'm really happy with how it turned out. That mix of softness and detail is exactly what I was aiming for, and it feels like the personality really shines through.